probably gonna, right?
I guess so. I mean, yeah. For me, I developed console video games, right? So there's a pretty harsh approval process.
There's no question that there's a benefit of somebody testing. You just like, do I really want Apple to test it, or I want to do it myself?
Yeah, you should do it yourself, really. We make Facebook games, and we have to QA them ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because you can upload it and it's live immediately.
Yeah.
And and there are different platforms out there.
Yeah. So so that's it. How much? Oh, we're running out of time. Okay, I'm gonna go really quick. 5 minutes, okay? So I talked about all these things already. This is just a few days ago. Basically, what really happened? Adobe released a new version of development environment, and they bypassed this limitation or restriction that Apple had. Well, sure, next day Apple had a new restriction that they cannot bypass, right? So, basically Adobe had to say, well, we can't really do anything on this platform. We're going to move on. It's not really good for business. Basically, that's how I see it. You have really zero rights on their platform. There's the list is changing and it's growing all the time. This is not to say that it's a bad platform. It's a very good platform, but nevertheless that's true. That's what I found. That's how I feel about it, right? Basically, there's a very, something can happen today. You publish your application, you just sorry, can't happen. Anyways, this is jobs. Basically talking about Java not being a popular platform. Obviously, Red is actually Java programming. It's actually even more popular. Objective-C is not even registered. Right? Obviously, he's not getting right information. Android process, full open source stack, no approval process, free as the internet. It's got a sandbox. Multitasking today. That's what I call free square. Linux and Java. It's a very powerful combination. Many companies have a stake in it. History of server-side development and what happened to Java is, I guess, was successful. There's a thing, of course, that wasn't successful, interestingly enough, for some. But that's a whole different conversation. We all benefited from it. Some investors maybe not, but we are. And that's a good thing. Google stewardship. Google business model is based on open source. So you can basically, if they basically, you can trust them to care about their own priorities, right? Or something like that, right? So if they're going to be good and they're going to execute their own priorities well, then that platform will win. So it doesn't need a premium. You can choose a variety of different languages, and the list is growing. One of the negative sides of Android is multiple, as we talked about, multiple resolutions and cameras. It's not as polished, and obviously applications are. The good thing about applications is it's really difficult to impress somebody on an Apple App Store. It's a lot easier to impress audience on Android. In fact, a lot of interest to our application actually was because of that, because there weren't enough yet good applications, so your application stands out. I don't know if it's a good reason.
It's 5 minutes. That'll change in 5 minutes.
Yeah, well yeah, yes. Yeah, and there's some other things. So if you're going to put it all together, 2 different platforms, and this is sort of quick in a nutshell. Open platform versus closed. And again, I'm not saying this is bad or good. I'm just saying that's what it is. And that maybe depends on what you do. That may be a good thing for you, and in some cases may not be. So it's an open platform and it's a closed platform. It's a cloud-centric. It's a big thing. You have to, before you can use an iPhone, you have to sync it. You have to, and iPad as well. You have to synchronize all your files. If you bring something, in some way it's a peripheral device to your desktop, right? You cannot use iPad when you buy it. You can, an iPhone. right? You have to sync it. If you need a file update, you need to sync it again. So it lives kind of like always